Hey yo, it's Magic 8 Ball. I have been a Splatoon coach or expert on Metafy for a few months now. And as of doing some coaching sessions recently, I've thought some of these points I've been making a lot recently, and so I just want to put them out there. I decided to cut up some of the most important bits from this coaching session. Yes, I have consent from the student to do with the footage what I will. I did block out his name at the bottom, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you at the end of the video. The main thing that I want to focus on is decision making, right? You know, like, I don't want to focus too much on what the opponents can do. I want to focus mainly on what you can do better, right? Since you said you want to improve. So my focus usually is in decision making. I can usually help a little bit, especially at this level, with just some mechanical skills and things that you can do to improve here or there. But that's the main thing I'm going to be focusing on. So like right here, you know this is an isolated fight, isolated fight. But as soon as they pop this cooler, and you see, as soon as this person dodges, like this slosh was fine, but as soon as this person pops cooler, this person's coming towards you, and this person right here is about to just beam you, it's time to get out of town. Like, I think even sending those second two sloshes up was like that's what slowed you down enough so that the end zap could hit you. Not to mention that your teammates weren't around you, and so the combination of all that meant that you were in probably the wrong spot, and that you needed to back up sooner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's as easy as sending out two sloshes that seem innocent enough. I like that you decided to pause and get info here. I think that's the most important detail. The question is, were you looking at the top of your screen or not? Because if I'm about to predict this correctly, you're about to get Zuka. Yep. Yeah, I think here you throw bombs at tower. I don't think that you stand in that range. The fact of the matter is, like, they probably didn't know that you were chilling. Where's my paint? They didn't know that you were probably chilling right here, like right in that moment. Right, like they didn't know that you like slid up a little bit. And so you could easily just throw a bomb back out of there before that Zuka starts firing at you, and you're able to at least slow them down, get like a little bit of paint over here and keep dodging the Zuka, and just try and stuff them out and like build up a line as much as you can, like right here on Hammerhead. I also think that at this angle, there's a little bit of a way to there's a little bit of change to the way that fall off works in 3 when compared to 2. That this angle that you're getting, where it's trying to fall off, like, actually, I could probably show you on the other side. Yeah, like, do you see how that first shot actually got blocked by the tower pole? But it's not unreasonable to assume that the T-Tech slid off of tower and then backed up that way. Right? And then again, it's a matter of seeing, oh crap, they popped special. I need to get out of dodge. Maybe throw a bomb, try and camp these jumps. But like, live, priority number 1. Especially since, like, they didn't even fire the first Zuka shot at you. As soon as you see that first Zuka shot come in, you have to realize, like, oh, they probably see my ink flying everywhere and they're about to aim at me. This is the key choke point, right? Like, just how it is on defense, how you want to make sure that nobody can get past this, you want to be the one to break that when you're on offense. You want to be the one that just, like, eradicates this, and make sure that you can get through it, and make sure that nobody's standing on that high ground. Unless there's a backline that's perched right up here, I think that this is the more key location to make sure to stuff out. Like, I see you're thinking. I think it's a little bit tunnel vision, though. Okay, what should you be doing right now? The reason I say that is because over on that left side was so much unpainted ink, and you're halfway to Trip Strike.
Oh, okay.
building up special in this scenario is the perfect thing to do to offset the fact that the enemy team is probably about to get mid.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and like you can test it here, but now you're forced to back up. Like they have their specials, they're coming in with movement, and you're kind of in a bad spot. Yeah, like I don't think that this would have happened necessarily if 20 seconds ago you had started painting the floor. Because the Zuka forced you back to this position. But this position is, I don't want to say vulnerable, but it's definitely not key. It's not the key position.
Mm-hmm.
Like yes, you got to pick here, but not only are you unable to play around your teammates from up here because you don't have the range to do it, your teammate who is flanking in mid right now needs you to either drop or be able to use this way to get back to the tower so that when they turn around, you can flank them. You can essentially hit them in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because he dies right here, and your teammate wasn't watching this area and let this junior push up.
Oh.
And again, we talk about... And so, the reason I said it earlier is because it's about to happen right here. You're in their effective range. And they just jump on you before you even get the chance to react. I think you also tend to slosh in one spot a lot. That's what I'm noticing right now. Is like, oftentimes you want to sit here and slosh, but you could also be moving back and forth from this position and go back and forth and be more of a nuisance and have more of like an impact on this entire area, as well as make sure you're constantly scanning for new information, right? Because that's the other thing too, when you're pointed so high in the sky, you're probably missing a lot of what's in front of you. So you see the Zuka, Zuka ends. You didn't notice the person who was swimming up behind it, which is understandable, but I think at this point, there was an isolated fight here you might have been able to take. Or at the very least, you should be dropping this way. Because right now, you're dropping into the thick of it. Right? And you just have, like, you have no cover, you're on a slope, there's a wall behind you, and you're so much more thin here, whereas, like, if you go this way, there's a lot more room to move around. This, honestly, this throughway is a spot that you never want to be in. It's actually a power position for the enemy. Right, but like here, you see how like you don't drop here? And so you're able to just start sloshing, shooting, and covering ground. The main thing is training yourself, right? Training yourself to like recognize exactly when you can and can't drop. And that's the difficult part of the game, right? All those were correct plays. I think you're right by taking this box. But yeah, again, it's trip strike. Trip strike is just like you have to be a little bit further back when you do it. Like do it from behind that box instead of after you climb up the box.
Yeah.
So then the solution to that is making sure that you're thinking about where you're standing when you ink strike.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's one of the key ones. I think it's one of the ones that definitely could have swung the game a little bit more. Make sure that you're not sloshing too much from the same spot, right? And that you're kind of constantly moving. That way you don't get pinned down.
Yeah, that is something that I do a lot.
And then just making sure that you understand some of the power positions of each map, right? Like instead of staying on the snipe area, stay more towards that choke point, that ramp on Hammerhead, which is just one key example.